Hello there. Welcome back to Latest Juice. Marriage contracts have become less common in recent years, and surprisingly, fewer men seem interested in them. Men no longer see marriages as significant and important compared to 3 decades ago. The Pew Research Center indicates that the belief among women aged 18, 34, considering a successful marriage one of life's best achievements, increased by 9%, rising from 28% to 37% in 1997. However, for men, the opposite trend occurred, with the percentage voicing the same idea decreasing by 6%, from 35% to 29%. Why are men losing interest in marriage? Why has marriage lost its appeal to men? The issue lies not in men being juvenile or apathetic. Instead, they are responding objectively to the current societal influences. Here are 10 reasons why men believe marriage is no longer worth pursuing.
Men don't want to marry anymore because the risk outweighs the benefits. There's a risk that comes with marriage that essentially only benefits a woman. A man marries you and can only hope that one day you don't wake up and say, I feel like I don't love you anymore and I want to leave and you can't do anything about it. According to ASA, 70 to 80% of divorces are initiated by women. Among college-educated women, it jumps to 90%. You know what's crazy? I mean, a lot of us women don't have anything a man actually wants that we can bring to the table.
Number 1. Respect is dwindling. In the past, a man was considered fully mature only when married and with kids. Nowadays, fathers are often portrayed more as figures of amusement than figures of respect. They are depicted as diaper-toting, bumbling characters in TV shows, sitcoms, and commercials. Modern culture portrays fathers as not knowing best. Media reporting and commentary on men often carry a negative tone, with unfavorable portrayals comprising 69%, while only 12% are favorable and 19% neutral or balanced. There are drawbacks to marriage. Number 2, married men report having less intimacy than cohabiting men, and studies suggest that married women are more likely to gain weight compared to those cohabiting without marriage. Dating apps provide an alternative for men who are not interested in commitment. With technology, men can easily connect with women worldwide and fulfill their desires without the need for long-term commitment. For such men, marriage feels like unnecessary confinement. The only drawback is that if he ever requires support during a health crisis or emotionally taxing life moments, relying on women from such apps may lead to delayed assistance. Number 3. Married men tend to lose ties with friends from school and work. While both men and women experience a reduction in friendships after marriage, it can impact men's self-esteem more, possibly because men are generally less social. Number 4. You lose space. We often hear about men escaping to their man caves, but why do they do so? It's because they've lost the battle for the rest of the house. Improvements in family living arrangements that aim to bring everyone together resulted in the elimination of male spaces in the main part of the house. As a consequence, men are often relegated to attics, basements, or the least desirable areas of the home. Number 5. You could lose both your children and your cash.
How are only men taking a rest?
Because 80% of divorces are initiated by women and 90% of alimony is paid from men to women, and child custody always goes to women 90% plus of the time. So men typically a lot of times end up getting destroyed by a divorce. Very rarely do women feel the wrath of divorce.
I mean, I feel like we still have
men.
a lot to lose.
Like what? Men lose way more. That's not even an argument. Like, divorce destroys men far more than it destroys women, because most of the time women don't marry guys that make less money than them. So since men are in the breadwinner position most of the time, the women get all the benefits from the divorce.
Many men are stressed by the possibility that if their marriage turns sour, their wife could take everything, including the children. Men worry that they might end up paying child support for kids who aren't even biologically theirs, a real possibility in many states. A survey of over 3,200 men asked how they would feel if they discovered a child wasn't biologically theirs. 32% said they would feel outrage and rage at the mother. 6% said they would feel misery. 18% said anger and sorrow. 32% responded they would be furious at the system that forces them to pay, and only 2% said they would be indifferent. One man shared his experience where his ex-girlfriend informed him that their 11-year-old child wasn't really his. He resented the mother and cut off all connections with the child. While some might see this as weak, he considers it self-protection. For those wondering if courts would make a non-biological parent pay child support, the answer is yes, they will. You are seen merely as a source of cash for the child. In such situations, a person should only be able to sue the real father for child support. Number 6, you'll lose in court. Men often raise the fact that family court laws are stacked against them, as women usually gain custody most of the time. Despite the increasing number of men pursuing and receiving divorce settlements, advocates caution against assuming fairness in court judgments. Family courts typically favor granting custody to mothers and awarding child support payments to men. These courts were established long ago to provide what mothers needed, but the circumstances have changed and the courts have not adapted. Number 7, you lose your freedom. If accused of child support that you refuse to pay because you know the child is not yours, you can be imprisoned. Even if you can't afford a lawyer, one will not be appointed for you, as the High Court considers it a common matter. A report indicates that between 95% and 98.5% of all incarcerations in Massachusetts from 2001 to 2011 originated from the Massachusetts probate and family courts, and the majority of those incarcerated were men. This percentage may be rising, with an average of 94.5% from 2001 to 2008 and 96.2% from 2009 through 2011. Most of these incarcerations are likely due to incomplete payment of child support. Additionally, women who fail to pay their child support are incarcerated only 1/8 as often as men for similar violations. Number 9, being single is way better than getting married.
All right, if you're single and you think you should be in a relationship by now, remember this. It's better to be single and open to something amazing than stuck in another pointless relationship.
The single life has surpassed anyone's expectations. While the value of marriage with men has declined, single life has reached new heights. In the past, single men were viewed with doubt and were often ignored for promotions to significant positions, which were typically reserved for stable, married men. Having a love life that wasn't centered around marriage was difficult, and early intercourse was disapproved of. Nowadays, the single way of life is not looked down upon. Dating is easy, and employers may prefer employees with no conflicting family obligations. Moreover, technology has introduced various diversions such as computer games, satellite television, and the internet, making single life more enjoyable and entertaining. However, this may not be great for society, as declining birth rates and increasing single parenthood indicate. People respond to incentives, and if society desires more men to marry, marriage should be a more appealing proposition. Interestingly, technology seems to discourage men from marriage, as it fills many gaps that traditionally required a wife. Microwaves and ready-made food make cooking easier, and machines or cleaning services replace household chores like washing and ironing. Men no longer rely on a wife for these tasks as their fathers once did, reducing the perceived need for marriage. Furthermore, the prevalence of single mothers has grown due to the availability of physical intimacy for men and the carelessness of some women. Many men claim that the women they encounter often have children, complicating potential relationships. This has contributed to a rising number of men who view marriage as not worth it. The presence of children from previous relationships creates challenges, leading men to reconsider the institution of marriage. What do you think? Tell us down in the comments section. Be sure to subscribe and activate the notifications bell. Remember to like and share the video, champs. Thank you for watching.